It's hard to see all of what goes on in the city. That's why we got Maddy Skyeline. It's time for Maddy Skyeline.
It is time for Maddy Skyeline. Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express-News, joining us here on the Blitz as she does every Wednesday. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Maddy, first off, congratulations. I know it's you've been working on this project with Columbia University for a long time, made the pages today, and I know for you, getting all that work published, getting to this point, what a major relief, but job well done. For some reason, I'm not hearing Maddy Skye, and I'm getting blank stares from our producer. Hey, there you are.
There we go. Yeah, it's a passion. You know, I'm from the area, and it's one of those things that I didn't know existed until I was an adult. And I get, throughout the process, it was very infuriating to write. And from the reaction I'm getting, I'm hearing that it's also the same on the other side of reading it. And it's a painful history, and it's painful to share, but it's something that we all need to recognize and make sure that we move that forward in fighting for equity for all San Antonio, making San Antonio a more equitable place for everybody. But it did take a lot out of me mentally. So I am very relieved that it's not complete. Don't get me wrong, the work is not complete, but that it is connecting with a lot of people, and a lot of people are learning a lot from it.
For those who haven't heard, can you kind of give us a
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just kind of what it's all about.
So I pitched a project proposal to Columbia last May, or maybe around this time. It was awarded in May, about San Antonio's history of redlining, and it started as a look back at San Antonio's racist policies and redlining and how it affected San Antonio. But as I've written for our upcoming newsletter and just in speaking to friends and sharing on social media, it started as a look back. But after you kind of sit with this information and go through the records, not even sitting that long with it early on, I realized it can't be a look back. I mean, because you're looking at it daily. So it's not technically a look back when it's something that you're seeing on a day-to-day basis on everything from education attainment, home ownership, and now with COVID, we saw a lot of this just glaring inequities when it came to access, when it came to the digital divide and getting access to vaccines and help. So pretty heavy stuff. It's outside of my usual realm of reporting. I usually do the fun spotlights on people, but we can celebrate all those things, but we also need to recognize the contributions that people of color have made to San Antonio and the barriers that they've faced in doing that. So I'm really proud to share this work with San Antonio, and it's because I love San Antonio so much that I think that it's important that we educate ourselves on the history. And this is history that does not go that far back. This was the 60s, and 1921, the 1921 flood devastated the West Side and killed so many people there. The ages were from like 2 years old or 2 weeks old to 60 years old. So
incredible reporting, incredible writing. I know the amount of work that went into that, and even more impressive seeing all the accolades that you're getting through Twitter from politicians to just everyday people, and more importantly, the boss. Saw your publisher tweeting about the great work that you did there, and you deserve all the recognition for getting the deal with Columbia University, being a part of this project, but seeing it through and getting that work done. Well done, Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express-News. And I want to focus something on the culture part. It's not something that you wrote. I read this yesterday in Texas Monthly online, but it's a topic that, well, we'll call you the Blitz expert on anything Selena. And you are the expert on anything Selena. But on Texas Monthly yesterday, they have an article about a new Selena album, the 24th album that has been released after she has died. And the question says, whom are these albums for? And my first thought, well, it's a money grab by your dad, right? But, I kind of feel that way about anybody that releases music after they have passed away, unless it was something that was already in the works, right? But you're the Selena expert. All these new albums, apparently there's been 24 of them.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that I saw reported when this news first broke a couple of weeks ago that this was like, oh my goodness, my hair, that it was like the first or the second, album released after her death. But I was like, wait a minute, that's not true, because there's been like all these different collections and I don't know, different spins on it. But this is the first one. And mind you, I am the biggest Selena fan.
You are.
Every
you
song,
are. Yes.
the mannerisms. I get excited every time I hear a song. But this is the first time that I saw something that I was like, that's a little strange, because it was this new album has audio that was recorded when Selena was 13, but it has been reworked to sound like she was how she sounded when she died, which is 23, I believe. So I don't know. I understand the importance of keeping her legacy alive. And sharing with new generations. Whenever I have children of my own, I look forward to sharing that music with her. But I think Bitty Bitty Bom Bom Como La Flor will do just fine the way it is.
Well,
I don't know if I'm going to be, at 11:59 or 10:59, because these was 11 aren't at 10. I don't know. Whenever those releases come and, people are there waiting for the music to hit Spotify, I don't know if I'm going to wait up for that one. It's a little strange.
Well, I mean, like, we've got a PSA that runs on our station from Betty White, and it just kind of freaks me out, right? She's dead, right?
Really?
I mean, can we, and until somebody says, hey, we need to, I mean, you've got to run it, right? It is kind of, but this, I mean, if it was a live album, hey, this is the release of a concert that she did, I'm good with that. But you're digitally altering her voice.
That's the problem.
I mean, it'd be like if Lisa Marie released a new Elvis album with new stuff that wasn't his, but they went into the, and took, I don't know. It's just, and then I read 20. I didn't realize it was 24 of them. And it's clearly, right, the history better than I do. It's just a money grab by the dad, isn't it?
I think in some cases, people can argue that but and then other cases it's like we're continuing the legacy. But when I ever want to show somebody, because I've to my surprise in San Antonio, when I leave Texas, I meet a lot of people who have never heard of Selena. And the first thing I grab is my Spotify and like, look, this is who she is, or better yet, let me show you a YouTube video, because they're going to be wowed by her stage presence and her beauty. But I don't really reach for those 24 albums. So,
Maddy,
I don't know. It's a very conflicting thing for me.
But it's interesting though, because I'm in full transparency here. I didn't know who Selena was when she died. I was working here at KTFM when that happened, and the outpouring in San Antonio was just incredible. I'm okay, and I was able from that point on to learn a lot about her and appreciate her music. I don't mind them releasing this stuff when she's 13, but why not let it be her at 13? And not, making it sound like she recorded it.
It probably wasn't very good then.
Well, who cares? But it was still Selena, and I think people would appreciate that more than trying to pretend like it was something she did when she was 20.
Well, reading this article, apparently there was going to be a hologram tour. And
wow,
that's even creepier. Now, I will tell you one of the strangest concerts that I've ever seen, but one of the coolest concerts I've ever been to was in Seattle about 3 or 4 months after Kurt Cobain had died. And I never saw Nirvana live, right? But that concert, it was the Nirvana band, a stool with a flannel on it, and a spotlight. And everything that Kurt was going to sing, or should have sang, the crowd sang. And then everything else, the band did their thing. So it was Nirvana without Kurt Cobain, but the crowd did the Kurt Cobain part. That was weird. If they would have put up a hologram of Kurt, I would have freaked out and left. I mean, that's just too much.
As a Selena fan, I'm not gonna lie, like the hologram always sounds cool to me, but I get it. I get, in theory, it sounds cool. I don't know how I would react to seeing it in person. I'm sure it would definitely not have the same appeal of seeing her live, which I never got to do, and I'm always really upset by, because I did coexist. I was 3 or 4 when she died, so there could have been a chance. I have so many friends that have photos with her as babies, and like, why wasn't I never taken to one of those concerts?
Blame mom, huh?
Yeah.
Blame mom.
She went to the concert, so. But yeah, it's a really interesting.
It is interesting, and it's 27 years later, 24 records, almost one a year. So, keep collecting that money, Abe.
Well, To switch gears, another guy that's collecting a lot of money because he does just about everything you can see. Every commercial on TV now is Shaquille O'Neal. Apparently, that's a done deal, isn't it? I mean, all of the chicken restaurant, was it Big Chicken, I think is what it's called, something like that. It's coming to San Antonio.
Right. So I had reached out. That wasn't my story. I had reached out yesterday to the PR reps asking for an address, an exact address. They don't have those yet, but we've been getting all these news releases where a restaurant will commit to so many sites in a certain city, and that's kind of what this is. It's like they're committing to expanding the brand here, but they don't have an exact location. They're still, I guess, like scouting addresses or properties. So yeah, so Shaq, San Antonio alum, coming back with a chicken brand, Big Chicken. That's really funny. Big Chicken.
Well, the Big Chicken, I think, has got one at some arenas up in the New York area. I mean, guy knows how to make money, invest money.
He does that.
He does well. Maddy Skye joining us here on the Blitz. And if you follow any of her social medias, she's been all over Fiesta. What are your takeaways from the first several days of Fiesta?
The biggest takeaway, I think, is that from what I've seen, it's not as packed. I went to Oyster Bake on Saturday, and it felt like it was a Friday, which Saturday is traditionally the busier day. I went to something else recently. Alamo Heights night was not, and I think it may be that the date is really weird because usually it's mid-April, so it might have caught people off guard. Also, if you think about it, we just came off from Fiesta in June, so people were still maybe not like that anticipation wasn't there. And also, after 2 years of is it going to happen, isn't going to happen, maybe San Antonians weren't as prepared for it to happen in full force. So, but it still has been a really good time. I enjoy not being squished. I haven't been to Nyosa yet, so I can't say yes or no to Nyosa. I'm supposed to go on Friday. I don't even know who I'm going with on Friday yet, but the plan is to go Friday. That's always my day to go. So it's a lot more calm, I feel, than usual.
Interesting. I know.
Yeah.
We're doing the show tomorrow at Taste of the North Side, which will be a lot of fun. And then Friday night, I'm going to the deal out at UTSA with the Jack Ingram concert because it's a Jack Ingram concert, part of the Fiesta Fit Fest. I don't know that I'll do a beer mile, but I'll drink beer. although my wife signed us up for the 5K on Saturday morning.
You're kidding.
Oh, wow.
I can walk a 5K. I ain't running anywhere, but I'll walk it. There's free beer at the end. There's motivation.
Well, it depends on how much beer you have Friday night.
I'm good.
You all right?
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
His participation trophy is his beer.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. If you see me post with the medal, then you know that I made it. If you see no medal photo afterwards with the free beer, then you know I slept in. And keep the $40 or whatever for the race as a donation. That's kind of what it boils down to. But Maddy, I've noticed, and I got a bone to pick with you. You were going to debut a flower crown on this show, but I've seen photos of you in a flower crown.
That's not it.
That's not it.
So one has more than one flower crown?
I do. I have many flower crowns. I made a promise to you, and I finished it in time just for this show. I would not break a promise.
That's so awesome.
She is. All right, hold on, wait a minute. So you were wearing old flower crowns earlier in the week. So you've got a new flower crown that you're going to debut now on the radio.
I saved it just for you all.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to go off camera so I can get it ready.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Do we have a drum roll, Edwin? Do we? Edwin doesn't have a drum roll. He's just going to start banging on the.
Maddy actually turned her camera off.
Wow.
So this is going to be a big reveal.
Well, this is like one of those costume changes at the Emmys.
And dude, I'm telling you, for the last at least 2-3 weeks that we've had Maddy on, she's been working on this hat. You call it a hat, a crown?
It's a crown.
It's a crown.
It's a flower crown.
I'm sorry, Maddy.
Y'all ready?
We're ready.
Yes.
Side actually, but okay.
Drum roll.
I think this is great. I'm excited.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Wow.
Whoa. Can you lean
all-
in a little bit? Look at
They're all
that.
Plastic bottles.
What
Plastic
is it?
bottles.
Those are all plastic bottles?
I made it out of plastic bottles.
That's pretty incredible.
I love that.
I will admit.
Now, you going to wear that Friday to Nyosa?
Yes, that's the plan. Needs a little adjustment. Some of the flowers are a little like bigger than others, but
They're fine. I wouldn't touch it. Don't overthink it. You're
the
good.
larger when it comes to Fiesta. So
Is
I
that
have
heavy?
I see them because it's bright outside.
Dude,
But
it's plastic bottles. It's not heavy.
Well, I mean, there's
Yes.
lots of glue and other stuff in there.
Is it heavy, Maddy?
no, it's actually one of my lightest ones.
Really? Very nice. Well done. I think you should go to Niosa tonight and wear it out.
No, I can't wear it too much. I'm nervous somebody will break it.
Nobody's going to break it. It's
She's-
plastic. It's
She's
not
going
glass.
Friday night to Niosa, and she's going to wear it there.
You can go to Niosa more than once. I mean,
Well,
clearly her liver is doing okay, so she should get 2 nights of Niosa in.
Well, she should, but she said she goes on Friday night, and she's already been to Oyster Bake and to Alamo Heights night, and so she, maybe she needs to take a little bit of a break and then party hardy Friday night at Niosa.
It's my break. I'm taking a break.
Your Fiesta liver break. I appreciate that. The hat looks fantastic.
It does.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for unveiling it on this show.
She made a promise, Joe.
Yes, she did. Well, and I appreciate that. She's
She's a good friend.
She's a person
Follows
of
up.
her word.
Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express News, with a brand new flower crown. If you see her out, do not touch the crown.
No.
Hands off the crown.
Thank you,
fun.
Maddy.
Congrats on the crown and everything else going on in your world. I know
Yeah.
it's been a busy time for you. Appreciate you joining us today as you do every Wednesday.
Thank you. See y'all soon.
Appreciate it.